Every time Beyonce releases something, we're constantly reminded that she's the spotlight that everybody wants to be under. Fendi, like the bag. This is the I Refuse podcast. This is Mr. Fox, the I Refuse podcast. I'm back. I know it's been a couple of weeks. You know, your boy had to go on vacation or whatever, get away for a little bit. Shout out to The Reed for this wonderful shirt that I bought from them a couple months ago. If you can make it out through your little screen, this is Andre Rison's house after Left Eye burned it down, and the caption right here reads, "Break up with him." I said, when I saw that shirt, I said I had to get it. But nevertheless, I'm back with a new video for the YouTube channel. Oh, there's so much to talk about. So we did a 4-hour album review of Beyonce's 7th album. That's on the streaming platform. We did that. We released that either earlier this week or late last week. So I want to start off rip. You know, we addressed the Khalees situation, but not too long after we released the episode, Monica Lewinsky also wanted to get under the spotlight that is Beyonce and referenced having the lyric that referenced her in Partition from Beyonce's fifth album, almost 10 years ago. Now, in the song Partition, you know, Beyonce sings, "He done Monica Lewinsky on my blouse." Now, those of us that are of a particular age knows what that means. But here's the thing. Aside from the fact that, you know, you want to jump on the bandwagon, Monica Lewinsky really has no position or place to be upset over this because she has built a career off of the scandal and the controversy. Like, not for nothing, she makes money from speaking engagements, from, I guess, consulting, life coaching, whatever she does. And last year there was an FX American Crime Story miniseries called Impeachment, of which she, I believe, was a producer or a consultant on. Now, the Impeachment, of course, that series or that season revolved around Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, that whole situation and the fallout. But it also does the build-up too. You know, Linda Tripp, her being moved around, her forming an alliance with Monica Lewinsky. It's really good. It's roughly 8 episodes. We watched it last year. It came out during the fall. But here we go again where it's like, it's old news because the song is old. But you just know that, like, when you're popping and stuff and you're a big name, things just have a cycle. You know, you're doing real well. Everybody's loving the album, Renaissance. It's banging. I haven't put the album down since the 29th. You know, the Khalees situation, you know, she directed her anger and her ego at the wrong person. It's just a perception about it. Like, the news around Beyonce isn't new, like, where people think she steals and all this other stuff. Beyonce has one of the tightest corporations, teams, circles in the industry. And as big as she is, relevancy, impact, sales, just having your name credited next to hers opens up a lot of doors for you. But just as Beyonce can give, she can also take away. You know, she took the backbeat of Caught Out There that was allegedly on Energy, I believe on the episode that we did last week. my co-host, my guest star, said that it was actually on a different song, allegedly. Um, but just as Beyonce can give it, she can take it away. But in Monica Lewinsky's case, it's one of those things where it's like, even when you're eating well off of the same controversy and scandal, you also want to police other people. And it's like, you can't have it both ways. And, that kind of thing just comes down to privilege, where it's like, okay, even you gain really nothing from it. You didn't say, there wasn't a mention of a lawsuit. You just want to tag along on the Beyonce situation. And it wasn't even like she said, Beyonce saying Bill Clinton went on my blouse. She makes, Beyonce does like tongue-in-cheek stuff. And, while she does sing really well, she does do like little lines here and there that could easily stand alone as like sound bites or sound clips or something. And, on Renaissance, there's no shortage of that. But what's the point? The thing about the news is like, people just get up and say anything just for a quick moment, just to say, oh, Beyonce's a big deal. Let me revisit this. And it's so asinine, because it's like, again, Self-Titled came out in 2013. It's 2022, y'all. And Beyonce has done like 4 or 5 albums since Self-Titled. Besides Lemonade, she's done Everything Is Love, The Gift, Homecoming, all this other stuff. But yet and again, it's like, it's just a reflection of, what, as the level as to what Beyonce is, and she's a big deal. And I'm not a stan. I've been a fan of Beyonce since Star Search. Not even gonna hold you. And I am 10 toes down with Destiny's Child 4. I mean, DC 3 is good, but, DC 4 is where I'm at. And, it just, through her solo career, that's just, well, as far back as her Destiny's Child, it's, somebody's always got something to say. And unfortunately, that's the start and the end of it. I really want people to like chill the fuck out. Like, Monica, you make so much money every year. You've probably made more money since the controversy than you did while working at the Pentagon. I'm just theorizing, like, Bill and Hillary make so much money with speaking engagements just because of who they are. They probably don't even practice law. I know Hillary's got her feet in politics. She's had her foot in politics since becoming the first lady almost 30 years ago. But, like, come on. You just doing this just to be on the Beyonce train. And again, like, people just being greedy. Beyonce doesn't bother anybody. Like, she minds her own business. She's been working on this album for 2 years, and which shows. Like, she definitely delivered. I'm curious to see what Act 2 is. I'm not a member of the Hive, but I can theorize that there may be like a documentary or a movie coming. I know there's definitely a tour coming. And fingers crossed, we get a DC4 reunion. That's my only wish. So, I'm moving on. to the lady. So you guys probably heard about the lady that was driving real fast past a gas station in California and like barreled through an intersection, killing, I believe, up to 7 people, including a pregnant woman, her fetus, and her husband. And I think they had a baby in their car. The lady somehow managed to survive. And there were all kinds of theories. Her last name is Linton, I believe. There were all kinds of theories as to the accident and to the woman, as far as, oh, she was driving drunk, she was upset at her boyfriend for breaking up with her, she was a nurse. And at first I was like, please, I really want ladies to like stop losing their heads over some dick. And then I was like, okay, let me chill out. But it's crazy to me that like everybody else died and she survived. And there was like fire and smoke and everything. Now they're saying that there's no evidence that she was under the influence of alcohol. And they also dug a little deeper and said that they found in her record that she had 13 other accidents. So she has a habit of reckless driving. I mean, not that the DUI would have absolved any of the charges that were coming. I mean, up to 7 counts and probably more of murder. And then, vehicular manslaughter, negligent homicide, all kinds of stuff. But mama, you got 13 other incidences of reckless driving, which leads a lot of people to believe you had intent, which that they're gonna throw the book at you. Like usually when there is some accidents, they investigate everything, but they want to get through everything, and with that, people have a lot of theories. People that are working well that are like, well, we want to know if it was a medical emergency, if she was under duress, things that can alter your position and your level of accountability, right? But yeah, with this new development that there was no evidence or findings of alcohol in her system, that yeah, she's facing about 90 years in prison, and more than likely she'll get that. But if she has a really good lawyer, who knows? But I doubt it. So recently this week they found a burning body hanging from a tree near a merry-go-round in Griffith Park in, again, LA. What the hell is going on in LA? Like, I say the same thing about Florida, which that will exhaust me, but what y'all doing in LA? Because between the nurse, Miss Linton, and the accident, and a burning body hanging from a tree in the Anne Heche situation, which I'll get to, what's going on in LA? Because here's the thing. They found a burning body hanging from a tree in a park, right? My gears were turning because I was like, I've heard of other instances recently where people were dead hanging from a tree. And just like those stories, they said in this one that the cause is most likely suicide. Okay. Gears turning again. I was like, how are you able to do that? Because here's my thing. All right, so let's say you you got the rope, you climb into the tree, and you tie the rope to a limb of the tree. All right, cool. They didn't mention in the story that they found any kind of chair or something that a person would need to stand on to do it, to hang from the tree. So they said that, it's not uncommon for like transients or people to immolate. That's a new thing for me. But I was just sitting there like, how did you do that while alive? Like, did you start the fire on yourself and then put the rope around your neck and that was it? Like, I remember, I think it was down in South Carolina a couple of years ago, and you guys probably remember this too, where they found a black teenager hanging from a tree, allegedly. And I was like, ain't no way that's a suicide. And, coroners can be wrong. People can misspeak and the findings can be incorrect, and coroners can also be persuaded to go in a different direction. I'm just trying to figure out how you're able to do that and set yourself on fire. And I read the story, like they didn't go into specifics as to how you're able to do it. They just said it's not uncommon for people to self-immolate. I mean, if it was an actual suicide, that's one hell of a way to go. Because, damn, to hang yourself and then set yourself on fire, or start one while during the course of the other. I don't know. I do notice that there is like that the pandemic is weighing very heavily on a lot of people's mental health, mine's included. You're being cooped up in the house for 2 years. We're barely through one situation, and then we have another, which is like stronger as far as contagious level. Like, not only skin contact, but you can breathe the shit and you have it. It's very chaotic out here. It's very much giving early stage Oregon Trail. Like, supposed to be, the wealthiest, well-to-do country. We have everything that most countries don't. And it's like we're facing like shit I've never even heard of before. Like, in this country. And a lot of that shit can wear down on your mental health. And plus the fact that this kind of stuff makes you not want to go out and be around people, but you're the kind of person that needs the energy from other people to kind of feel better. And not in a draining, narcissistic way, but it's a good feeling to be around other good energy. And to not have that for so long, and then other personal things that person was probably going through, I can only imagine. But I hear stories like this and stories about the lady driving through the intersection and killing those people, and I'm just like, my gears are turning. I'm like, it ain't no fucking way. It's just no way. Like, how do you get yourself up there? Like the second time. I don't know. while burning and not burn anything else. Like the tree wasn't on fire, like the grass wasn't on fire. I don't know. Um, it's not beyond me that, things can be staged to look like one thing when it's actually another. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. But LA is really coming up neck and neck with Florida with like all these crazy stories. And, Anne Heche, I could honestly take or leave her, but I am aware that she too is also suffers from mental health stuff. They're not sure as to what inspired her to cause the crashes that she did. However, she hit a bearing or a wall at a parking garage at a complex, and then drove off. And I saw the video. It was like ring camera from one of the houses where she drove really fast through the residential street, and you heard this crash. She had a house. The house caught fire. There was somebody, I believe, in the house that was not hurt. However, the impact of the crash caused a major pulmonary situation, upon which they had to intubate her so she could breathe. Currently in a coma, has not regained consciousness yet. They're trying to, at this moment, get blood tests done to determine if she was indeed under the influence. It's up in the air as to what she may be facing, or what direction it'll go, because it's up for argument as to, was she in duress? Was she experiencing a personal medical emergency? What actually happened? Again, a good lawyer could argue things down to a lesser charge, if it was indeed a personal medical emergency, allegedly. If they run that theory to the goal line, and they're able to successfully argue that she could possibly face no jail time, probably community service or whatever. But, reading about her life hasn't been easy. Like, when years ago, I first came to know of Anne Heche as somebody that was pardoned to Ellen DeGeneres, and then, she went on to, after that breakup, she went on to exclusively date men. And in my ignorance, I was thinking, okay, well, she's a flaky bitch. But just recently, like the past couple of years, she openly admitted, I believe, in a book that she did or in an interview, that she was assaulted by her father, allegedly. And that was one of the many causes of the strained relationship between her and her mother. And her family, like her siblings and stuff, ultimately did not believe her, which is a fucking shame. Which, contrary to popular belief or whatever your ego is telling you, that kind of experience tends to do way more damage than the assault. Like, that would possibly break my mental health. To be in a position where you've been violated, or your trust has been broken, or your reality has been shattered in some way, and the people that are supposed to have your back don't. Yeah, shattering to your mental health. who's to say? But I resonate with Anne Heche. Hopefully, this situation doesn't resort to jail time. Maybe more like community service and getting some strong and affordable, supportive, safe space type of therapy to work through a lot of things. I mean, I don't know if she was already in it, but it's definitely something to revisit. It's a wild one. It's been wild lately. I did like 2 episodes for the streaming platform. That's already up. We're about 40 some odd episodes into season 3. Haven't decided how I'll end season 3. I know season 4 will be coming in the middle of fall, maybe late September. Haven't decided, because the news, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. I wanted to cover, especially those last 3 topics, because it's very sad. Like, we just cannot resist being greedy, and we're also down bad. Like, hopefully that lady that killed those 7 people wasn't wilding out because of some dude. Like, trust and believe. If a dude ain't doing right by you, go stand right next to some new dudes. It's crazy. It's amazing that she survived. Cause I saw the video, and there were all kind of theories as to what actually happened after the accident. That the baby that was in the back seat flew through the air and landed in some lady's lap or something. There were some theories that the pregnant woman was a celebrity, which it wasn't. But it's crazy, like, watching the comment section, just these different theories. Like, that's the danger of that's another thing. That's the danger of social media. People in the comment section that were not there trying to piece together a theory that makes you wonder, but it causes people to actually come and verify on the same platform that it wasn't them. But why specifically that person? I guess because, everybody found out not too long before that an R&B singer who I like some of her music, is pregnant, and then this accident happens. And then people are like, oh, well, she's known to be around there sometimes. Maybe it was her. Like, why would you even wish that? Like, wait until shit pans out and, things develop and and go from there. But why even go to that extreme to, like, even think death upon another person? I want Monica Lewinsky to find a real job. Because, riding on Beyonce's coattails of her name ain't gonna get it. Most of the album has placed on the charts, which is good. There was, for Beyonce to have the #1 album and the #1 song without a music video, it's pretty dope. Now, I thought it was a big deal to me, but, on Facebook, somebody had to go in the comments like, plenty of metal rock bands. Okay. So she's not, this and that. And then, the whole Diane Warren thing, like, I think she's been salty since she lost that Golden Globe or Academy Award to Billie Eilish. People, for whatever reason, just like, especially people that need artists to sell songs to, like, make them money, like to come for Beyonce. I just thought about it. Like Diane Warren had something to say at some point. Carlos Santana had something to say. You know, somebody that can't sing a lick. And I mean, I give a lot of kudos to Diane Warren, like self-taught, self-penned songwriter, right? Big in the 80s, real huge in the 90s, written for everybody from Whitney Houston to Celine Dion to Toni Braxton to, I believe, Christina Aguilera. You know, things are changing. Like those adult contemporary big ballad songs, taking a backseat to like hip hop and trap and, you know, soothing pop music that Billie Eilish makes. And all of it's really good. Clearly, it must be doing something. It must be impactful because it's winning awards and stuff. And, you know, people coming, songwriters and musicians that play instruments, coming at artists that have like all these songwriters and all these credits on these songs is nothing new. But it blew my mind because it's like you're in the same industry. Do you not know that when you sample or interpolate or you're even using what appears to be the backbeat of one song and putting it in another song, that you're supposed to credit the people that wrote the song or hold the publishing rights? Because it's up for argument regarding Khalees as to the songwriting and stuff, because she has gone on the record and said that although she wrote most of the songs due to her deal that she had with Chad and Pharrell, allegedly, that they have the credits. Anybody listen to this? If you are an artist, please do not go with the same management, the same lawyers, the same publicists, the same anything as the people you work with. Not even the label. Like, don't even go with the same team the label has. Because just like HR, they are not your friend. Conflict of interest is not illegal. And like I said, people are greedy out here. Unfortunately, because Khalees allegedly signed that deal and they all three had the same management, she went to sign that deal allegedly under the impression that they were going to split the publishing 3 ways. Well, they got you. They got you. And I believe it that she wrote most of those songs. Unfortunately, the first album that you make, unless you're like a rapper or something, goes to the label and the production team. The second album, I know she wrote some stuff, and I know she wrote songs on Tasty. She started writing more on Tasty. And I know after she left Virgin and, you know, Chad and them, she wrote more on Khalees Was Here. But I made a much bigger argument, a much greater argument on the streaming side as to not only that situation, but how we as a culture tend to put down one person to exalt another. As conflicted and emotional and annoying as Khalees was in that moment, still very much impactful. And it's unfortunate that she had to fumble her own opportunities. Because like I said, being credited next to an artist like Beyonce, who's on a whole nother level and a whole nother stratosphere, opens up a lot of doors. And I said on the streaming platform, like, she could have taken this opportunity to re-record her music. You can do that in like 5 days. Could have went the same route as Ashanti and Taylor Swift to do your albums. But just like you were on there, Beyonce took you off. And the song Energy is less than 2 minutes long. And you barely even notice it. Like, it doesn't mess with the sequencing of the album. It still slaps right into Break My Soul or Cuff It or whatever. Still seamless. But yeah, like, take that as a lesson that y'all really need to look over your contracts and make sure or probably do like a singles contract and then renegotiate after that, or like a one album contract and then renegotiate. Y'all are in these lifetime slave contracts with EMI or whoever, and they got y'all working like a rent mule. And y'all be looking crazy out here, but it's sad that people are still doing this thing where they like to gather under the spotlight that is Beyonce. But that's just a testament to her impact. That girl don't be bothering nobody. She crosses her T's and dots her I's legally and business-wise. Her regimen is tight. You know, to Matthew Knowles' credit, her daddy taught her a lot. Is he toxic as fuck? More than likely. And I know there's a Girls Time album on the streaming platforms of like their earlier music. It's cute. Came out of nowhere. But yeah, that's all I got. I probably ain't got no more. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow wherever you see I Refuse Podcast. We're on Twitter, Instagram, streaming platforms. I think I may continue doing new videos on the YouTube channel here over the summer while, you know, the streaming side, the season is in, not hiatus, just on a break. Taking a break. Enjoying the summer and this monkey ass heat and this monkey ass weather. I'm over it. I really am. So over it. But yeah, I really want everybody to be healthy and well and take it easy. And see you guys later. Bye.